So Tennessee is not messing around moving forward. According to reports from Danny White, the athletic director, starting in 2025, there will be a 10% raise on ticket prices for what they're calling a talent fee. And for some of you that don't know what that means, basically they're adding in a little bit more money to the NIL collective. That way they can stay the course moving forward in the world of college football. And there have been multiple national pundits saying that this is a disgrace towards SEC. This is a disgrace towards the game itself. No, this is the smartest thing that could actually happen in Knoxville, and they're setting a standard about what it means to be a contender in college football. So let's discuss what's going on SEC Unfiltered. It's Cole Thompson here. Make sure that you like the video, hit the ring notification down below, and of course, subscribe, because we're talking all things SEC. This is your new home for all things SEC. Download the podcast version of the show. Follow us on the social channels at SEC Unfiltered. Follow me on the social channels at Mr. Cole Thompson, and check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. This episode is brought to you by RHOBACK. Use the promo code SECU for 20% off your first purchase. Look good, feel good this upcoming fall on game days at RHOBACK.com. So this was a quote from ESPN's Chris Lowe from Danny White. In this era of name, image, and likeness, there has never been as close of a connection between resources and competitive success. We want to be the leader in college sports. We want to be the leader in revenue sharing. So Tennessee right now has turned the corner. I know a lot of people think that I hate Tennessee. Not the case at all. I think Tennessee is a college football playoff threat. I think that they have a shot of going undefeated. I believe that they have special talent at every single position. Offensively, they are humming on all cylinders. Defensively, their front seven is the best in the SEC. They have the most underappreciated linebacking core. And to be completely frank, if they end up shutting down Oklahoma this weekend, I don't want to hear the narrative that the secondary is not good. Has it been tested? No, but after this weekend, we're done with that narrative. We are. There is not a fault when you look at Tennessee right now that keeps them out of the conversation from making it to Atlanta, from making it to the college football playoff, from being the last team that you want to play on Saturdays in a one-down, four-quarter, show-it-all matchup that is going to either eliminate you or advance you. That is the case right now when it comes to Tennessee. There's nothing wrong with the Volunteers. And so moving forward with Josh Heupel, with Danny White, they want to keep that a standard. Tennessee is finally back to an aura that we remember back in the 90s, back when this team was one of the biggest threats in the SEC. And the question is that they're setting standards moving forward. They're building a brand new athletic complex for game days right outside of Neyland Stadium. They have a lot of resources currently when it comes to the NIL collective. And they want people to realize, hey, we mean business. We are talking about college football from here on out. You want to be a part of a great culture with Rocky Top, it's going to cost you money. Because you want to know where it's going to cost you money? Down in Tuscaloosa, down in Athens, Georgia, down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in Austin, in College Station, in Gainesville when we get the right head coach. Everywhere that you look in the future of the SEC, they're going to have money and resources to not just bring in the right recruits, but keep them here for the long term. That's the case. You're paying a little bit extra to watch your team be a threat on Saturdays. And not just on Saturdays, but once they get to the college football playoff, be a standard that is going to separate itself as a legit contender moving forward. And they're doing so with a generational quarterback. Nico Iamaleava is second to none. If you look in years past, when you had guys like Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton and certainly Jared Garantano and all these other names that have come through the building, you may have said, well, are we really going to pay that much more money to go maybe finish 10-2 at best and not make the college football playoff? Probably not. But Nico is going to be a name that we talk about for this year and next year. He may even stick around for a third year because NIL is keeping him in the good graces of college football to where he doesn't have to go to the NFL draft. He wants to boost his stock. And they also have really good names behind him. And as long as Josh Heupel is running the show, quarterback play is going to be at an all-time high. So you're paying for success, and that's a good thing. You don't think that it's going to happen down in Tuscaloosa at some point where they raise the ticket prices so they get to keep 5 stars at the front line? That way, whenever there's a conversation about why would I go play for Tennessee or why would I go play for Georgia when I can stay in my state, I can be developed properly, and I'm going to be compensated for my actions. Tennessee is doing that. They're basically telling the rest of the SEC, go ahead and catch on up to us because you're probably not. And we're willing to put our money where our mouth is. And it's not just going to happen in college football. It's going to happen in every case of the word. Basketball. Tennessee basketball is going to be great. Tennessee baseball is coming off of winning its first national championship, and they're going to be a threat moving forward. So regardless of how you feel about the 10% tax, this is a good thing. Currently, schools are allowed to share up to $22 million in annual revenue with athletes. It's going to raise to $30 million. And $30 million in NIL that could all go towards keeping players happy, making sure that they're developed the right way, making sure that they're going to stick around for the long term, and maybe even will be here past a year when you think that this is the end of an era. That's the case. Everything that you're looking at for a team like Tennessee right now is that we mean business. We're not going to play second fiddle in the SEC. We're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to make sure that when recruits look at what the future of volunteer football is like, it ends up with national title conversations. It ends up with SEC appearances down in Atlanta. It ends up with college football playoff automatic bids because we're that good. And that's a good thing for college football. I've made this narrative clear before, and people seem to get really annoyed when I bring this up. But when blue bloods and when top tier programs of the past are good, it's great for the sport. It's fantastic for the sport. It's great when you see Florida be the villains. It's great when USC actually gets to talk about their defense in a prominent light. It's great when Nebraska gets to strut its stuff in the Big Ten, even though I think it belongs in the Big 12. And it's great when Rocky Top is rolling with a top 10 team that is going to be a threat to hoist up a national title. It's good for the sport. It's great for the industry. It's good for the fans, and it's great for fan bases. And so if I'm a Tennessee fan, and so far I've checked out a couple of message boards, I'm not frustrated about this. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay for talent? Cool. That means that every single Saturday I can expect a win, or at least I can expect a matchup to where we are going to be the punchers, not the punching bag. Yeah, I will pay that price tomorrow. I will gladly sign up if that means that I get a 5-star to come into this building and we get to continue to see the dominance that has been here for the last few years. Tennessee has been a pioneer in the future of college football when it comes to NIL, when it comes to the collectives, when it comes to setting a standard about what the future looks like, whatever it does with revenue. And they're going to continue to be that way. And basically, every other SEC team is watching what's happening. And they're saying, oh, they're the pioneers? We got to go ahead and up our ante. You think that it's going to only stick around in Knoxville? No, it's not. And there are going to be players that certainly will say, well, I wanted to play for Georgia since I was a little kid. I'm okay with taking less money. I wanted to play down in Baton Rouge. I wanted to play in Death Valley. I'm okay with being a Tiger for less money. And then you're going to see some kids that say, I don't really care. Go ahead and sign me up. I'm going to be happy playing for Rocky Top. I grew up an Alabama fan. Fat chance I ever say Roll Tide again. Go ahead and say Rocky Top rolling. I'm good. There's reasons to believe that Tennessee can be a standard in college football. And more importantly, they can be a team that means business. They are a team that means business. And the best part is you're starting off with a generational quarterback that's going to hum the revenue right now. Why not go ahead and strike while the iron is hot? That's what Tennessee is doing. And I applaud Danny White. I applaud the athletic staff. I cannot wait to go ahead and see Tennessee fans give more money so that way they get to see more opportunities of winning national titles. But let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts about Tennessee having a talent fee surrounding the football program? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do you believe that this is going to be something that is a standard in the SEC moving forward? Like, rate, review, subscribe. Make sure you're following us on the social channels, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you're following me at Mr. Cole Thompson. And check out all of our great work found at SECUnfiltered.com. I'm Cole Thompson. Until next time, folks, later.